Hello all, I am P.Priyadharshini from the Department of IT, Kamaraj College of Engineering and Technology. Yes, today I am going to discuss about cloud computing. So before cloud computing, so what happened means, so before cloud we all store the data in a single system or some local file system or some servers. So if you want to move to some other location means we don't handle the data, we don't access the data in a particular location. But if you are using cloud means we have to get the data or access the data from the any other location through the cloud. So in cloud there is only one main thing, internet. So without internet cloud is not possible. So that is the major introduction for the cloud computing. So first agenda, first we discuss about why cloud computing, what is cloud computing, and then what are all the cloud service models, deployment models are present in this, and then finally who are all the cloud service providers. Yes. So first one is why cloud computing. So let's say some difference between the on-premise and also the cloud. So in on-premise, what's the difference? First main thing is, so if you are using this on-premise system means there is a payable is high and also the scalability wise less. So if you are using cloud computing means, so cloud is nothing but on-demand resource provisioning. If you want the source resource or if you want the sources means we have to pay for the particular resource. So we don't pay for the some other resources. If you want some server means, if you want some software means, so we have to pay for the software and use them. Don't pay for the some other. So that is the main difference between the on-premise and the cloud. So if we have to pay whatever you use, that is the on-demand resource provisioning for the cloud. Okay, so that is the main difference. So for payable wise it also, because whatever you use, so that process, that cost will be given. So scale up, if you use some more data means, so we pay more. If you use or if you want some minimum data means, so we have to pay less amount. So that is the main difference. So next difference is allot the huge space for the servers in the on-premise. Yes, we have to allot huge space, but in cloud, so it's not, because whatever you use, that space will be allocated by the cloud. So no server space is required, because server is not necessary. The data are all stored in the data center, so no servers are required in the cloud computing. But in this there is a huge amount of, that means huge space for server is allotted in the on-premise. And then maintenance. So in on-premise there is, we have struggled to maintain. If you are using your laptop means, so some period of time, yes, you must update this software that shows that pop-ups will show is in the laptop. But if you are using cloud means, so that not happen, because that are automatically updated. Okay, that is the main difference between the on-premise and cloud. So there is no appointed team for maintaining the software updates. So that will be happened automatically in cloud computing. And then on-premise, the security wise, it's because leakage of data will occur in the on-premise. In cloud computing, better data security will be done by in the cloud. So and then less chance of data recovery. If you lost some pen drive, or if you lost some some other accidentally happened, if some data are lost means, so that will not recovered very easily in on-premise. But in cloud it's possible, because all are stored in the distributed environment. So if you want to access the data means, you have to access in the multiple location. Also the recovery is not, that means backup or recovery is automatically there. So if you don't want in the recovery, because it also the automatically happened. So there is a less chance of data recovery, there is no chance. Yes. So lack of flexibility, high flexibility. Yes, if you want to access data in multiple locations, it is very flexible for you only, no. So that is the difference between the on-premise and the cloud. So no automatic updates, here automatic software updates. Yes, already told. So automatically done by the cloud. Okay. So here there is a manual updation happens only. So less collaboration, here teams can collaborate from the multiple location. Yes, if you assign some project okay, so your teams are located in single location only, that's only done by in the on-premise. But if your team members are in multiple location means that can also done by the cloud. Yes, if your team members, if five are in one team means if all 5 members in particular location, single location in a particular, that means that 5 members are in single location only, we have to access the we have to done the project in the on-premise. But in cloud computing there is a not mandate, because the dream was one from where some other location Chennai, one from where US, so one from London, so more than one location team members can also collaborate accordingly in the cloud computing. That is the main difference between the on-premise and cloud. So data cannot be accessed remotely. Yes, we can't access the data remotely. Here we have to access and shared everywhere and anywhere in the location. Yes, so that is but main thing is internet. Without internet, cloud computing is not possible. Yes, it takes longer implementation time. Here is a rapid implementation. Yes, that is the difference between the on-premise and the cloud. So main difference is higher pay in cloud. Whatever we use, that resource only we must pay. They don't want to pay some other resources that we want to use. Okay, so that is the main difference. Flexible, because we have to access the data in everywhere and anywhere in the world. So that is the main difference. But internet is main thing. Without internet, cloud computing is not possible. Automatically software updates will occur, recovery, we have to recover the data in any situations. So that is the main difference between the on-premise and cloud. Yes, next, what is cloud computing? So the main definition of cloud computing is delivery of the on-demand computing services over the internet in the pay-as-go pricing. Yes, whatever you use, that resource will be paid. Okay, that is the on-demand service provisioning. That is the cloud computing. So rather than managing the files in the local device, we makes it possible to save over the internet. So we don't want to get the data or store the data in the particular location. Through the internet, we have to share or also access the data globally. So that is the definition of the cloud. So storage devices, because it is stored in the single location, but in cloud the internet is, so through the internet we have to access the data in any locations. Yes, so and then roots of cloud computing. So these are all the roots of cloud computing. First one is internet technologies. Yes, using internet only cloud computing is possible. And then hardware and software management. So whatever software we want means, that's only we have to pay and get the softwares from the service providers, cloud service providers, and then we have to use. So based on the hardware only we have to create the cloud computing and the distributed environment. So before cloud, we have to store the data in one single location. So if any data loss occur means, so whole system can be collapsed and we can't recover the data. If the single point of failure occur means, it collapsed the data, and also it also missed the data, lost the data. That happens in the centralized location. But in distributed environment, that's not possible, because if the distributed environment, the location, that data can be present in the another location, and the data can be present in some other locations. So that some other disaster occur means, it can't, so the data cannot be lost. So that is the roots of distributed environment, is also the roots of the cloud computing. So these are all the roots. So and then what are the types of cloud computing? So based on the cloud computing, there are the two types. That means based on the deployment model, based on the service model. So based on the deployment model, there is a three types of cloud: private cloud, public cloud, and then hybrid. One other cloud, community cloud, is also there. So but main three model is public, private, and then hybrid. So from the service model, there is a three service: IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. These are all the types of cloud computing. Based on the deployment and service, it will be categorized. Yes. So first is deployment model: private, public, hybrid, and then community. Okay. So private cloud is nothing but it will be owned by some single organization. So if the some other organizations or institution use some particular cloud means, that will be considered as the private cloud. Public cloud means it's not under the single organization. So globally we have to access that data. That the cloud service provider gives, cloud service provider manages and access the data. So they have the full control. So that is the public cloud. So hybrid is combination of the both private and the public. Combination of the private and public is considered as the hybrid cloud. Community cloud is similarly grouping the similar organization. If there are educational institution more, if one institution is that means if example for example XYZ one organization is having some other groups means they are also merged and also grouped and using this community cloud. So community cloud is owned by the group of similar organization. So that is the definition of the community cloud. So first deployment model, let's see deployment model. So first public cloud. So taken this bus is the example of the public cloud. Yes, so it is accessible to the everyone in the world. So that is the example because the bus is accessed or used by the everyone, accessible by the everyone. So that is the example of the public cloud. Own car means that single person having the own car. So that is the example for the private cloud, owned by the single person. And then taxi, so it is rentable. So it is a combination of both the public and also private. So it is a rent person, okay, whoever want they have to that means call a taxi. So that is the example for the hybrid cloud. So community cloud is nothing but, so community cloud is has in the grouping the similar organization. I already told you know, grouping the similar organization having using this particular single cloud means that is considered as the community clouds. So the whole control will be done by the group of that particular organization. Yes. So first public cloud. So public cloud is nothing but it is available to the general public over the internet and also the accessed by or controlled by, managed by with the cloud service providers. Who are all the cloud service provider? AWS is one of the cloud service provider, Azure, IBM Blue Cloud, Sun Cloud, these are all the cloud service providers. So the full management will be done by the cloud service provider. If we want some data means, if we want some server, if some want some resource means, we ask the cloud service provider, they only give the access. So that is the public cloud. So private cloud is operated by the single organization. So it can be managed by some other third party. So it also based on the on-demand provisioning. This will be done by the single organization, for example AWS VMware. So this is the example for the private cloud. Hybrid cloud, it consists the functionality of both public and private. For example, federal agencies opt for some public cloud means they are also used in this private cloud also. So this is the example for the hybrid cloud. Yes. So community cloud, I already told you, it is done by the group of similar organization. So it is owned, managed and operated by the one or more organization in that particular community. So that group has the some control. So it owned by the group of, that means clustering that organization. Okay. So that is the community cloud. Yes, this is the diagram for this one of the organization is one of the organization. This three organization can be done by some other person means these are grouped together and then using this community cloud. Yes, this is the example for the community cloud. Yes, this is all about the deployment model. So first private model, public model, hybrid and then community cloud. Yes. So and then service model. Service model, there are three types: IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. IaaS is nothing but the infrastructure as service. We have to provide, that means cloud service provider gives the infrastructure as a service. If you want some machine, server, that means and then some other resource, this type of RAM, this hard disk drive. So that entire infrastructure is given by you by the cloud service provider, from the cloud service provider. So that is the infrastructure, that means giving the infrastructure as a service. Who are giving the services? Cloud service providers. Yes. PaaS. PaaS is nothing but the cloud service provider give the platform. If you are using this virtual machine, but in the virtual machine we use them OS means, so that OS will be requested and given by the PaaS. So platform as a service we have to use. For example, if you want some Ubuntu OS means, that considered as a platform, that will be done by the platform PaaS. Okay, platform as a service. Finally, SaaS. If you want some software to use for your project means, then we have to request that software and we have to use access the software, that will be done by the SaaS, software as a service. Okay. So which cloud service is suitable for you? Because the person needs IaaS, that means platform. So that the person use the IaaS as a PaaS as a service. Okay. So IaaS is nothing but if your business needs some virtual machine Okay, we have to use some virtual machine means that will be opted by the IaaS. PaaS means it requires some platform. I already told you, OS is one of the example. So that will be done by the platform as service. If your business needs some software, okay, that means that there's some AutoCAD tool, something other, some other software. So that will be given by the SaaS, software as a service. Yes. So this is the explanation of the IaaS. It's a cloud service that provides the basic cloud computing infrastructure. Your services are available only pay-as-you pricing. Yes, if you use that machine for the particular period, then that period only they provide, they give the they allot some fees that they get paid, and this the IT administrator or the users for the IaaS. If you want, you pay, otherwise you don't want to pay. That is the main advantage of the cloud computing. Yes, PaaS. PaaS, it also provides the platform. It allows the software developers to deploy the applications without requiring the infrastructure. Yes, without without relating the infrastructure, we have to use they allows the software developers to use the platforms. So these are the software developers or the users, infrastructure administrator, and then here developers. Yes. And then SaaS. SaaS is nothing but host and manage the software application as a pay-as-you-go pricing. So end customer, we are all the software, because we want some other softwares. If you want some Google Drive, Gmail, some other MS Word, if you want that software means we have to need some resource means we have to get the resource from the cloud service provider. So particular software if you want to get from the cloud service provider, that is comes under the software as a service. Yes. So then cloud providers, who are all the cloud providers? Because if you want some data means we have to request the data and get the data from the cloud service providers. Who are all providing the cloud service means AWS. AWS is one of the major source of the cloud computing, and then Microsoft Azure is one of the IBM cloud, and then VMware, Google App Engine, Google Cloud Platform, and then DigitalOcean. These are all the cloud service providers. Yes, I hope you understand about what is cloud computing, why we go for cloud computing, and what are the types of cloud computing. I think. Thank you.